Hi, I'm Betsy Poos. Welcome to Yoga Sculpt for upper body and arms. Today you'll need a yoga mat and that's all that's required. If you do want to add in weights, just one light pair of dumbbells, 2, 3, or 5-pound dumbbells, depending on what works for you. Let's start in child's pose. We always have a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of a cool down, framing these exercises. Knees a bit apart. Fold your torso inside. Reach your arms out in front. Each daily Yoga Sculpt class is 25 minutes total. So we put our full body, full mind, full effort into this 25 minutes. For me, these 25 minutes, the beginning of my day, I like to get them in the morning, just shapes the entire day to be more productive, more easeful, more joyful. From child's pose, come on up to all fours. Set the hands under your shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. Tuck your toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet out a little bit, shake your head, yes and no. Take in a few steady, deep breaths. Release all the air out. For a moment here, look forward at your hands. Make sure the hands themselves are set, shoulder distance apart, and then spread the fingers wide. Press a little more weight into your thumb and first finger. And that is always what we look to have each time we have our hands on the ground. Look in between the hands if you weren't already, and step up to the front of your mat. Stand tall. Place the palms together, center of the heart. Again, focus your body, breath, mind for this point of practice. Inhale, lift up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. So we'll take 2 rounds of sun salutation A. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down. I always like to start this way. Lift the chest up for cobra. Just to start to get ourselves moving, body a little warmer, breath connected with the movement. Look forward to the hands. Step or jump to the front of the mat. We always have some movement that looks familiar to yogis, and there'll also be plenty of exercises that sort of mix things up today. Lift up. Bring the palms together, back to the center of the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, lower down. Peel the chest up for cobra. Go downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a couple of breaths here. Look forward to the hands. Step to the front. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand, reach the arms to the sky. Bring palms together, center of the chest. Feel an openness, a lightness for class today. Ready for what comes our way. All right, let's release. We'll see a lot of 30, 45, and 60-second holds in our work today. There's always some involvement in the lower body, even as we're focusing on upper body. I'm going to do most exercises with the dumbbells. Know that anytime you can set the dumbbells down and not use them, especially if this is your first, second time through this practice. Probably start without them. As you build and get more familiar with the movement, you can add them on. Okay? Take your feet hip distance apart. Just let my clock get caught up with me here. And we're ready to go. Utkatasana, bend the knees with feet hip distance apart and send the arms straight out in front. Think parallel to the floor. If you're holding onto your dumbbells, it's up and down. So we're not lifting them side to side, but more like a hammer curl here. And we're staying in it. Get right into strong connection to core, belly button towards the spine here. Upright in the chest. We're staying here. And then stand up. If you use the dumbbells for the first set, set them down here. We go right back to it. This time, arms more vertical. Always belly button towards the spine. Think tailbone down towards the floor. The thumbs are pointed. Point them straight up towards the sky here. These are 30-second holds. And you are done. Stand up. Take a wide stance on your yoga mat. Extend the arms out in either direction and turn your right toes towards the short end of your mat. Bend the knees, sit down into the hip. Good old warrior two. No weights for this first start. And just make tiny little circles, like the smallest movement that you can. Circle the hands forward. And then circle the hands back. As you circle the hands back, take your gaze out over the right fingertips and a little bit down. Continue to widen the front knee so it moves more towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Stay steady in the legs as we work in the upper body here. And that's it. Straighten the legs. Heel toe it all the way back in. Pick up your weights again. Utkatasana this time. Bend at the elbows as you sit into it. And we open and close. Open and close. Again, if the dumbbells make this form fall apart, then we have to set them down and restart without the weights. There's plenty of work here, just in the open and close. Arms together, stand up, shake it out. Set the dumbbells down, take a wide stance, extend the arms out, turn the left toes out, bend the knee, warrior two. Make fist with your hands, and then like you're taking the hands together, and right down in front of you, back up and around. This feels somewhat like you're swimming in and you're swimming out. Swimming in and swimming out. Continue with no weights or pick up your weights and add on here. Arms going right to the inside of the legs the entire time. Just a little bonus in the legs to be in warrior two. While we work through the outer shoulders one last time. Straighten the leg, heel toe it all the way in. That's your first set already done. Come down to plank position. Get ready with the hands shoulder distance apart, index finger straight ahead. And we go, feet back. Hold plank for 30 seconds here. Look straight down or slightly ahead of the hands. Do squeeze in the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. We are going for straight arms the entire time. Press down through the hands to lift and feel open across the upper back. Changing here to forearm plank. Go down, one forearm, two forearms. Clasp the hands to make this a little more doable, but keep the elbows still only as wide as the shoulders. Try not to lift the seat. Get it just the same height as the shoulders. You can be on toes or on knees. Nice full workout the entire time. You get a break a bit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. Press it back to child's pose, and this is a knees closed position for child's pose. And take the knees just a little bit apart. Thread the right arm under the left arm and sit back. So threaded child's pose here. Some of the work is on creating more opening, more range of motion and flexibility. Some of the work more specifically on strengthening. This is giving us that release and stretch. So important to find both ends. It leads to a much more longevity in the practice. Take it over, second threaded side. Left arm under the right arm. And then good old child's pose one more time. Both hands straight out in front. Okay, come up to all fours. Get ready for one more minute of plank holds, just like before. We are starting full straight arm plank here. Shoulders right over the back of the wrist. You can have a little bubbling in the upper back, but still look forward just past the hands. Squeeze in the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. You hear me say it all the time. Those three things go together. And we are holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down to the forearms. Again, hands can clasp, but keep the elbows only as wide as the shoulders. Lengthen through, so seat only as high as the shoulders. Think of it as 30 seconds at a time. You can do anything for 30 seconds. It is hard, but you've got this. Hard things, we've got it. You can do it. And lower the knees down. Sit back onto your heels. Interlace your hands, flip the palms. Take the arms all the way straight up towards the sky here. Take the hands behind your head and do a little twist to the right. And then across the center, and a little twist to the left. Our next set is standing again. Come back to your center. Release, shake it out. Stand up. If you're using dumbbells, grab hold of them. Take a wide stance. We'll start on the right side again. Turn the right toes out. 2 straight legs. Think triangle pose here. But let this stride be slightly shorter than triangle pose. So bring it in. All right, it's a windmill. Lower the right hand down just to the inside of the ankle and right arm straight up to the sky. So this is the bottom of the pose. We're ready. Lift up and lower down. Keep the eyes focused on the top hand the whole time. If you're building up to the weights, you might decide to only have the weight in the bottom hand. This is working to stabilize in the top shoulder. Nice mobility, full range here, letting the bottom hand go just a few inches above the floor each time. Do one more. Come all the way up. Arms out to the side, turn the feet in, lower it down, heel toe it in. Back to Utkatasana legs. Feet about hip distance apart. That's the bend in the knees, chair pose. And then we row the arms, elbows about as high as the shoulders, and we're in tricep kickbacks here. Back and in. Each time, straighten and give a little lift, shoulder height. Pull it back in. Doesn't have to go fast here. We're looking for full range of motion. Again, light weights or no weights at all. Full minute here for our tricep kickbacks from chair sit. Stay with me. And pull it in, stand all the way up. Set your feet wide, and then heel toe one step in. Turn the left toes out, reach the left hand down. Right hand straight up to the sky. Here we are. Lift and lower. Arms stay straight the entire time. Take your focus to the top hand. Don't let the line waver. It's going straight up here. Don't let the arm come in or fall back. We're looking for stabilization in the shoulder joint. Nice work in the abdomen here. Good. Hamstring, hip opener in the legs. We've got this for 10 more seconds. Last one. All the way upright. And release the arms down, heel toe the feet in. Catch your breath. Just 5 more seconds. Stand in mountain pose, so feet just about hip distance apart. Hammer crawl up. Press in and down. No addition in the legs, just nice, strong, steady mountain pose. Full minute here. Hammer crawl, overhead press. Lower down. Hammer curl, overhead press. So this exercise, isolated on its own, I would certainly pick up heavier dumbbells, but when working in connection with everything else today, I'm sticking with 5-pound weights in each hand. 15 more seconds. And then we're moving on to our next set. The next set is a little bit more stretch focused. Here we are, last one. Set the dumbbells down, out of your way. They will not come into question. Lay flat down onto your belly. Wide cobra on the fingertips. Point the elbows up to the sky and think of this like cobra push-ups. Inhale, lift and lower. Inhale, lift and curl. Squeeze the glutes, keep the legs steady and strong. Press the top of the feet down to the mat as you take the wave-like lift and lower. Few more here. You can always stay up. Go a little slower as works best for you. And lift. Work with the breath. Last one here. Lower it down. All right, we want to be somewhere where the hands can go fully out into a T shape. Keeping the right arm like that, bring the left hand like you just had in your cobra position, and then step the left foot over behind you. Let your head lay down here. We're looking for a shoulder chest opener here along the right side. We'll go a little quicker on these. Lower it down. Other hand comes out. Again, you've got that cobra fingertip push up here. Keep the outstretched arm, shoulder flat on the ground. And then here I'm taking the right leg over the left. Let the head lay down. I see this movement a lot in typical asana classes. I have to confess, it is not at all one of my favorites. Come back, belly down. So I always try to pepper it in and just see how I can progress with poses that I love, how I can progress with poses I have a little less love for. Here we are. Lift everything as high as you can. Fly, fly, fly. We're here for 45 seconds. If you want to add something a little bit more to this, take the arms back and stretch. Think like lat pull down here. Pull and extend. Lat pull and extend and pull and extend. Lower it all the way down. Push all the way back to child's pose. For our very last set here, I want you to find wall space. I'm going to turn my mat so that I have that wall space. And then all fours with your toes on the floor and your heels on the wall. From an all fours position, lift your knees off of the floor and hover. Now lift your hips up and back so you're in sort of a squished downward facing dog, a lot of bend in the knees. What's important here, think upper body, so get the arms absolutely straight. Shift your shoulders now forward over the line of the wrist. Each of these positions is a different hold. Don't rush past it. Now, walk your feet as high up the wall as possible, higher than the line of your hips. Your goal throughout the whole time is to keep your arms absolutely straight. Walk your feet down to about the line of your hips. You can bend the knees to do this. Keep the arms straight, look down or back at the wall. And here we are for 10 more seconds. Go straight legs if possible. Hips right over the shoulders. Count yourself down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the feet down. Sit back on your heels. Little wrist release. Go round in circles and the other way. Yeah. So it's full steam ahead all the way through this 25-minute practice. We've got one more. Legs up the wall in our L shape. So again, little all fours with the knees off. Shift the hips up and back for that little downward dog. Shift the shoulders forward over the wrist. So you can stop at any of those bus stops. If you're still with me, legs straight up. Anytime the elbows start to bend, that is your signal. Go back to the bus stop that came before it. Go for straighter legs. Keep it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. I'm hugging my ear pod in. Interlace the hands, flip them up towards the sky here. Ooh, big breath in and out. Take a twist to the right and a twist to the left. As always, if you have 30 minutes to spare rather than the 25, please add on an extra 5 minutes of easy stretch and cool down for yourself. Listen to the body, what it would like. Maybe it's 2 minutes of relaxation pose. We always end 30 seconds cross-legged seat of meditation. Close the eyes or take a careful gaze low. For me, movement is meditation. Movement helps to create the settled mind. Take just 30 seconds here to breathe into that expanse. Bring palms together, thumbs to the sternum. You've done it. Thank you. Namaste. I hope to see you soon.